Welcome to all the students. Today we are going to learn Class 9, Chapter 1, Matter in Our Surroundings. I hope so you all some ideas about the matter in Class 9. See, everything in this universe is made up of materials which scientist has named matter. That means whatever we see around us, everything is made up of matter. Air, water, stones, sand, clouds, stars, planet, pencils, books, everything is made up of matter. Now, if everything is matter, so how we can define matter? What is matter? So we can define matter is everything in this universe that occupies space and has mass. So basically, here the concept is those things which occupies space and has mass are considered as matter. Clear? Next, if we consider our ancient Indian philosopher, what their philosophy regarding matters. So, ancient Indian philosophers said that all the matter, living or non living, were made up of five basic elements. These five basic elements were known as Panch Tattva. What are the Panch Tattva? Air, earth, fire, sky, and water. These five elements constitute a Panchatattva. So, according to ancient Indian philosophers, they believe that all the matters are made up of this Panchatattva. Therefore, matter is composed of this five constituent. But as the time changes, the thought process of the people also changes. So there is a modern approach for matter. Modern day scientists classify matter into two ways, on the basis of its physical properties and on the basis of the chemical properties. So physical properties and chemical properties. So what are the classifications? So on the basis of physical properties, matter is classified as solids, liquids, and gases. On the basis of chemical properties, matter is classified as elements, compounds, and mixtures. Now let us discuss about physical nature of matter. That means, is matter is continuous or particulate? See, some believe matter to be continuous, like block of wood. So what? Matter is a continuous, like block of wood. Whereas other thought that matter was made up of particles, as sand. Sand is made up of particles, and we can say wood is a block that is continuous. But we can conclude that matter is made up of particles because we see particle of sugar mixed in the particles of water. It's very common. I hope so in every household. All the students have seen their parents adding sugar to the water for making a sarbat or something. So when this sugar particles dissolved in water solution, then particles of matter can only be viewed under microscope. That means all the particles of same kind cluster to form matter. Now, one more question arises that what is the size of these particles then? See, the size of the particle is very small because we cannot see these particles with our naked eyes. So they can be broken into further particles as well. The particles that we can see sometimes, they can be broken also. An example, when crystals of potassium permanganate is placed in the beaker of water, the water slowly turns blue on its own, even without stirring. You can do this experiment at your home by using ujala. Take a ujala, 4 drops of ujala, put in a bucket of water. Then from that bucket, take one more bucket and half fill that bucket, and from one mug of that colored ujala, take a one mug and put into the other bucket. Just see the changes and repeat the procedure. So in this experiment, we can see both the potassium permanganate crystals and water are made up of tiny particles, right? So we can see the clustered one. Then the potassium permanganate crystal is put into water. Its particles separated from each other. As they are clustered, now their particles are separated from one another. This purple color particles of potassium permanganate sprayed throughout the water, making the whole water look purple. So as now they are broken, they are not in a cluster, they are totally mixed with the water. So now the watercolor is also changed to purple. So on dilution of colorful solution as shown in this figure. So what we can see, the colors becoming fade. After dilutions, the color is getting fade because the particles are going on dividing on further dilution. Clear? Next, let us talk about the characteristics of matter. First of all, the matter is made up of very small particles, and that small particles is called atoms. Take an example, a chalk in a classroom. If we start breaking the chalk, you can break the first chalk into two halves, then you can to the four halves, then slowly breaking. At a time it will come, you cannot break. It will be only a dust. That means these particles are too small to be observed with our naked eyes. That is in case of air particles we can say. Next, these particles are constantly moving. So how we can see the particles are constantly moving? You will ask, sir, now you told that they are too small that we cannot observe through our naked eyes. Then how we can say that they are constantly moving? Yes, how we can say. So when we mixed a drop of ink in a still water, what we see? The ink mixed uniformly throughout the water. How it becomes? Because the molecules or the particles of ink is moving. Water particles is moving. That's why they got mixed up. Next, these particles have space between them. Yes, they have space. How? Take an example of salt, sugar that we mixed in a water. What happened to the salt particles? What happened to the sugar particles? The salt particles and the sugar particles, what happened? That they get embedded. Suppose, just take an example, right? This is a beaker. Here this bigs are this water molecules. Just for your understanding, I am saying. These bigs are water molecules. This all are the water. So you can see in this water molecule there is a space. So we can see in this water molecule there is a space. Now suppose we add some sugar. So sugar particles, what happen? They will embedded in between this. They will fix themselves. And so they, it seems that they dissolve in the water because due to this space. Next, see, the particles of matter attract each other because of the force of attraction. See, the force of attraction that applicable for the particles of matter, we said intermolecular force of attraction. That means this force of attraction is between these two molecules. These molecules attract each other. We will learn about this further in the next topic. That means solid have the highest force of attraction because where the force of attraction will be more, it will be very difficult to break it. So solids are very hard. That means they have highest force of attraction. And then we can say the liquid and then the gas. Because in the gas, we can move our hand easily. We can move our hand easily in the water, but we cannot move our hands through any solid object. Clear? Now, as I told, let us learn some important terms. First is intermolecular space. What do you understand by intermolecular space? See, intermolecular space, as the name suggests, it is a space between two molecules or atoms. As we have seen in the last slide. See, in the between the molecules of water there is a space, and this space is known as intermolecular space. See, as there is a space, some matter have less space, some have more. So why so? There is acting one more thing, that is force of attraction, that is termed as intermolecular force of attraction, because this force of attraction is between the two molecules. This force of attraction is between the two molecules. Clear? Then kinetic energy. What is kinetic energy? See, the energy that is possessed by the moving body, or the energy due to the motion. When the body is in motion, always remember that body is posing a kinetic energy. Next, diffusion. What is diffusion? It is simply intermixing of particles. When two different types of matter intermixed by their own, the process is known as diffusion. Thank you.